The Canal du Midi in the picturesque south of France, an engineering marvel when it was built in the 1600s. Today, it provides a relaxed, stress-free way to enjoy the beauty, history, and culture of this gorgeous part of the world. There's so much to see and do, and the best way to explore it all is with Le Boat. Le Boat has 5 bases on the Canal du Midi, which means you have plenty of great cruising opportunities to explore. From 3-day getaways to extended 14-day cruising trips, Le Boat's travel experts can help you find the perfect itinerary. There are lots of boats to choose from. There's a boat for every budget and every group, from 2 to 10 people. Wherever you choose to travel on the Canal du Midi, one place that stands out is the historic city of Carcassonne. There have been settlements here back to 3500 BC, but it's most famous for the Cité de Carcassonne, a medieval fortress built on top of a hill. There's lots to see here. A walk on the ramparts reveals the rolling hills and scenery of the south of France. Take a horse-drawn carriage trip around the inner wall, or visit the many shops and restaurants that line the quaint narrow streets of the town. East of Carcassonne is the town of Oms, a picturesque village popular with canal cruisers and home to a Le Boat base. There's a good-sized supermarket here to provision your boat, but all along the canal there are lots of opportunities for markets. Every Le Boat trip starts with an orientation on the boat and some training on how to drive a boat in a canal.
Have you done this before? Never, no problem. I'm going to show you how it all works. You always start the engine before you untie, okay? And make sure everything works before you leave the harbour. And now push the gear lever forward. Nice and easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the Blue Bridge.
Cruising on a canal is all about going slow and enjoying the countryside, which makes driving the boats easy as you cruise at leisurely 6 or 7 kilometers an hour. You'll be shown how to maneuver the boats, as well as how to run all the systems on board.
That shows you've got a full tank of diesel. Okay, your fresh water is a bit low because you stayed here last night.
In many towns, you can just tie up alongside the canal bank to go exploring. Locks may seem intimidating, but they're easy to get through. Ideally, one member of your crew steps ashore before the lock so they can help with lines. With one person at each end of the boat, loop the line around the bollard and return it to the boat. All you need to do inside the lock is keep some gentle pressure on the lines to stop the boat moving around too much because of the water flow. It's a good idea to bring work gloves. It makes it easier to work with the lines. All the locks are operated by lock keepers, who will help guide you into position in the locks. Le Sommet is a very small village with a lot to see. There's a floating grocery store here with regional delicacies as well as fresh bread and baked goods. Let them know what you want the night before and you can reserve your fresh French baguette and croissants for the following morning. There are several great restaurants to choose from as well. Bikes are great to have along in your canal trip. They give you a chance to get off and ride along the canal towpaths or explore farther afield to wineries to taste the region's famous wines. At Chateau Cabazac, a few kilometers outside of Le Sommet, you can sample easy drinking table wines or enjoy some rich, complex vintage wines in beautiful surroundings. Capestang is known for one of the smallest bridge openings on the Canal du Midi. But if the large commercial barges can make it through, you shouldn't have any difficulties. The village of Capestang has a lively town square, and on market days there's plenty of fresh, locally produced food available. There are several aqueducts along the canal. These water-filled bridges were engineering marvels when they were designed and constructed in the late 1600s. It's worth getting off the boat to explore these amazing structures. There are lots of wine tasting opportunities on the Canal du Midi. In the town of Parazza, you can tie up your boat at the base of a hill and walk up to the Chateau de Parazza. Maybe you'll even see some inquisitive donkeys along the way. Right beside the chateau, at the top of the hill, is the winery, with lots of wonderful wines to discover. The Tunnel de Malpas is very impressive, 550 feet long and built in 1679. It was the first canal tunnel in Europe. Although there were other potential routes the canal could use, Pierre-Paul Riquet, the chief engineer of the canal was determined to build a tunnel. Colombier has a nice boat basin for visiting canal boats. From here, you can ride bikes to get a closer look at the Tunnel de Malpas. Just up the hill from the tunnel is the Oppidum de Onsarun, a settlement that dates back to the 6th century BC. There's a museum you can visit or walk through some of the ruins on the top of the hill. The hill also gives you a great view of the Etang de Montadi, a lake that was drained in the late 1200s. The radial lines are for the drainage ditches that are still in use today. Outside the town of Béziers is the Fontserrand Staircase Locks, 7 locks that all work together to raise or lower boats over 70 feet. Allow yourself plenty of time to get through and take the opportunity to check out the locks on foot. Béziers is one of the larger towns on the canal. From the Béziers Cathedral, there's a gorgeous view of the town and the valley. The main boulevard through the city is named after Pierre-Paul Riquet, the visionary behind the Canal du Midi. There are restaurants for all tastes and budgets in Béziers. These are just a few of the many towns that make the Canal du Midi such a unique destination. There's so much to see and do along the way. The experts at Le Boat will help you choose the perfect itinerary for you, your family, and friends. With bases in 8 countries, nobody has more experience with canal cruising than Le Boat. Call or visit us online to start planning your perfect canal boat vacation.